morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 6th ICC Gems and Jewellery Summit 2024, a pivotal gathering for India's gems and jewellery industry. This year, we come together under the theme Innovate, Elevate, Globalize, pioneering new horizons for India's gems and jewellery industry, reflecting our mission to harness fresh ideas, raise standards, and amplify India's presence on the world stage. With gems and jewellery being such an integral part of our economy and culture, this summit aims to address both the industry's evolving needs and the immense opportunities awaiting India globally. Our focus today is on three transformative channels. First one is Forging Excellence, which is about advancing artisan skills and vocational pathways. The second one is Bridging Financial Gaps, by which we mean widening credit pathways for the industry and jewelry buyers. And the third one is Global Sparkle, which is about propelling India to the forefront of the global jewelry market. With these objectives, the summit stands at a platform for bold ideas, collaborations, and practical solutions to propel India's gems and jewelry industry into a new era of excellence. Let us embark on this journey of innovation and global reach, setting a strong, sustainable course for the future. And also, one thing worth mentioning, ladies and gentlemen, that the last five summits of ICC Gems and Jewellery were organized in Kolkata. But for this year, the need for closer collaboration between the industry, the government, and policy makers to take the industry forward has propelled us to host this event in Delhi this year. And on this note, I would request our dignitaries to kindly come and join us on the stage, please. Let us all, with a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, welcome our guest of honor for the occasion, Mr. Atul Kumar Tiwari, IAS, Secretary, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India. Mr. Pramod Agarwal, Chairman, National Gem and Jewellery Council of India. Mr. Sayyam Mehra, Chairman, All India Gems and Jewellery Domestic Council. Mr. Sachin Jain, Regional CEO, India, World Gold Council. Mr. Rajiv Kumar Saxena, Chief General Manager, Commercial Clients Group 1, SBI. Mr. Sabyasachi Ray, Executive Director, Gems and Jewellery Export Promotion Council. Mr. Suvankar Sen, Co-Chair, ICC National Expert Committee on Jewellery and Lifestyle, Managing Director and CEO, Senco Gold Limited. And Mr. Vinod Bamalwa, Chairman, ICC National Expert Committee on Jewellery and Lifestyle, Director, Nemichand Bamalwa and Sons. Let us all, ladies and gentlemen, put our hands together for all the dignitaries who have joined us for the occasion, for the inaugural session. And now I would request Mr. Vinod Bamalwa and Mr. Suvankar Sen to kindly come forward and welcome our guest of honor with a bouquet and shawl. Our gratitude to you, sir. Your presence has added a lot of value to the occasion, and we welcome you with a let us all put our hands together once again, ladies and gentlemen, as to show our gratitude to our guest of honor. And on this note, ladies and gentlemen, let us commence our summit with a welcome address by Mr. Vinod Bamalwa.
Mr. Atul Kumar Tiwari, Mr. Pramod Agarwal, Mr. Sayyam Mehra, Mr. Sachin Jain, Mr. Sabyasachi Ray, Rajiv Kumar Saxena ji, Mr. Suvankar Sen, Samar Kumar De, Mr. Shipal Dolakia, esteemed delegates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, namaskar. I'm delighted to welcome you all to the 6th ICC Gems and Jewellery Summit, a platform where innovation converges with tradition and our ambition for the industry to soar under the theme Innovate, Elevate, Globalize, pioneering new horizons for India's gems and jewelry industry. Today, we convene in dynamic city of New Delhi, a city steeped in heritage and now emerging as a hub for transformative advancements in the gems and jewelry sector. This year, our summit expands from its origins in West Bengal to the national stage, underscoring our dedication to fostering growth and innovations across India, particularly the North. First and foremost, I'm delighted to extend a warm welcome to our chief guest, Mr. Jitin Prasad, Honorable Minister of State for Commerce and Industry, Government of India. He'll be joining us in a brief while. I also warmly welcome our guest of honor, Mr. Atul Kumar Tiwari, IAS Secretary, Ministry of Skills Development and Entrepreneurship in the Government of India. Additionally, I extend my heartfelt welcome to all our esteemed speakers, Mr. Pramod Agarwal, Chairman of the National Gems and Jewellery Council of India, Mr. Sayam Mehra, Chairman of All India Gems and Jewellery Domestic Council, Mr. Sachin Jain, Regional CEO, India of the World Gold Council, Mr. Suvankar Sen, Co-Chair for the ICC National Expert Committee on Jewelry and Lifestyle, and Managing Director and CEO of Senco Gold India, and Mr. Samar Kumar De and Mr. Shripal Dholakia, members of the ICC National Expert Committee on Jewelry and Lifestyle and directors of Guinea Emporium. The Indian Chamber of Commerce takes immense pride in the accomplishments of this summit over the years. Each edition has ignited crucial discussions, fostered valuable partnerships, and launched initiatives that have driven the industry forward, while championing the countless artisans who form the backbone of this sector. Their exceptional craftsmanship and dedication infuse life into the timeless artistry that distinguishes Indian gems and jewelry on the global stage. Notably, the proactive focus on upskilling and reskilling of the workforce, particularly the artisans or karigars, is unparalleled. The Jewelry Occupational Skilling Hub, JOSH, launched in collaboration with the West Bengal Industrial Development Corporation at the Ankorhati Gems and Jewelry Park, exemplifies this commitment. This state-of-the-art skill development center aims to train approximately 300 karigars annually, equipping them with advanced skills to meet the evolving demands of the industry. As we know, the gems and jewelry sector is the cornerstone of India's economy, contributing significantly to the GDP. In September of 2024, the industry recorded gross exports of $2.54 billion and gross imports of roughly $1.47 billion. Additionally, as of 2022, India ranks as the sixth largest exporter of gems and jewelry in the world, holding a 4.3% share in the world's export, cementing our industry's strong position in the global market. By prioritizing innovation, quality, sustainability, this sector has a potential to transcend traditional boundaries, engaging new global audiences and enhancing India's economic influence. Our theme for today, Innovate, Elevate, Globalize, embodies our shared vision of propelling this industry towards new frontiers and solidifying India's role as a global leader in gems and jewelry. From cutting-edge technologies to sustainable practices, we aim to inspire transformation, fostering an ecosystem that celebrates innovation, craftsmanship, and global reach. The Indian gems and jewelry industry is on the cusp of a remarkable transformation. By 2030, blending traditional artistry with state-of-the-art technologies and sustainable practices. For example, the online sector is set to surge to $10 billion by 2030, with platforms like Instagram and Facebook becoming the vital B2B and B2C marketplaces. Advances in manufacturing, sourcing, and certification, such as 3D printing and laser technologies and new materials, are augmenting the traditional skills and enabling previously impossible designs. Innovations like virtual catalogs and advanced gem identification processes ensure transparency, social responsibility, and sustainability, enhancing global competitiveness. I am confident that this summit will ignite meaningful discussions, foster networking, and enable collaborations that will drive enduring progress in our industry. Let us work together to innovate boldly and elevate this sector to unprecedented global heights. Thank you, and I look forward to the enriching dialogues that we will share today. Welcome once again to the 6th ICC Gems and Jewellery Summit.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bamalwa, for perfectly setting the tone for this summit. And now I would request Mr. Suvankar Sen, Co-Chair, ICC National Expert Committee on Jewelry and Lifestyle, Managing Director and CEO, Senco Gold Limited, to kindly come and present the theme address.
Thank you. Thank you, Vinod Bhai, for the wonderful introduction. A warm welcome to all the stakeholders of the gem and jewelry industry to the 6th ICC Gem and Jewelry Summit 2024. First of all, we would really want to extend our gratitude to our Minister of State of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Jitin Prasad, who would be joining us soon to guide us through, our Honorable Secretary, Sir, of Ministry of Skill and Entrepreneurship, Shri Atul Kumar Tiwari, sir. Thank you for being a part of this esteemed event. Mr. Sachin Jain, MD of World Gold Council, Mr. Saxena, CGM Commercial from State Bank of India, Mr. Pramod Derewala, Mr. Sam Mehra, Mr. Sabyasachi Ray, and the various dignitaries on the dais and off the dais to be a part of this August gathering. Vasudeva Kutumbikam, the world is a family and we are all connected, has been the culture and ancient wisdom of India. So with that thought process in mind, today we are looking at hosting this event where we are trying to globalize, and we know that India is in a platform and in a stage where we can now take more and more market share of the gem and jewelry industry across the world. After hosting the forum in Calcutta for 5 years, today we thought that we must do it in the capital city of New Delhi to bring the various stalwarts of the industry, the various stakeholders, right from the karigars to the corporates, various senior members of the industry and the government to give their inputs, their ideas on creating an inclusive Bharat, and where the gem and jewelry industry, as we progress forward, is not just a progress for a few, but a progress of many. You know, local development with global dreams is what we want to do, and this platform, this event that we are hosting, is something we feel should elevate us to that platform. India, Bharat, and the gem and jewelry sector of India is standing in the cusp of transformation and ready to accelerate most and more. We can see that under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, India is now a superpower, one of the most respected country and leader in the world in multiple spheres. The Vishwakarma scheme initiated by our Honorable Prime Minister has been a blessing for the karigars to get more encouragement and more focus on the work. Under the Ministry of Commerce and guidance of our Honorable Minister, Shri Piyush Goyal, we have seen one of the most supportive ministries who's building infrastructure, giving a support morally as well as financially and infrastructure-wise, and building a mega CFC in the Andheri Seep zone, and working on multiple smaller CFCs across the country, and working on ease of doing business for the industry. The Honorable Finance Minister, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, she has supported by reducing the duties just to make sure that the raw materials that we use are coming at a much more affordable price, not only for the industry, but also for the consumers. So, however, we see that while there are so many initiatives and efforts that have been taken by the government or by the industry, there are challenges that we are facing in the global market today. There is a slowdown. We can see that in the diamond industry, we have so many job losses. People are losing their jobs. There is a trade war happening. There is a global slowdown. We can see that recruitment of new generation skilled karigars has been a challenge, whether be it in Mumbai or Bangalore or Calcutta. And what are we going to do to make sure that the young population that India stands for is employable and is helping the industry to grow? We can see that the working capital requirements for the industry has been on the rise, especially with the way that the gold prices have moved up by 35 to 40% over the past 1 year. And from the post-COVID scenario to now, we are at almost a 50-60% increase in terms of working capital. We need the support of the banking system and the finance to that, so that we can continue to grow and cater to the market needs. As a member of the industry, we need to get our ideas, our inspiration, our strategies, and our thoughts right to consolidate and have the leadership position in the world today. Now, keeping today's theme in mind, innovate, elevate, globalize. We need to innovate with modern technology, the design structures, and manufacturing techniques. We need to elevate our standards of manufacturing with the best practices as followed. We have the World Gold Council with us. They are working on various projects now that the standards of manufacturing, the quality of the working conditions, they have to improve for the future. And I think as an industry, we all need to come together to support that initiative for the future to be bright. The quality of skilled manpower is important to globalize the product. We can see that through SEPA, ECTA, and other trade pacts, there is a huge opportunity lying there for India and the gem and jewelry industry to grab the market base, to increase the customer base. We have big brands from our country opening their stores there. But how do we all work together and support each other so that this initiatives that have been taken by the private enterprise is supported by the government? So we look at USA, we look at Middle East, we look at Europe on acquiring more market share and compete with the other countries that are supplying jewelry to them. We also are conscious of the fact that skilled artisans is something that we in India have. And if our companies can open factories all across the world with the trained manpower that we have, it will only open up the doors for India more and more. We're also one of the largest consumer of gold, diamond, and the jewelry, and also the largest exporter. So while we are consuming, and we have been seeing that Indian households have been holding on to the largest quantity of gold across the world, and now in this transformation in the global power, with BRICS coming into the picture, now we have a new president in the US. It is only that we as an industry and we as a country can work with all the countries in the world and make the best out of it. ICC is initiating a program for skill training of karigars in Kolkata Ankurhati Jewellery Park. We have also seen that the Josh program happening at the Andheri Seeps Mega CFC, and there are many such institutes across the country. But our humble request to the government and to our Honorable Secretary would be that there are many, many manufacturing hubs in our country where we need the infrastructure, be it Mumbai, Surat, Kolkata, Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and how the government and the industry can work together to build more training and development institutes. That will really, really help for the industry to move forward. At the same time, the finance that will be required for the industry to grow is not only at the bigger corporate level, but also at the MSME, and also the karigars to have enough working capital and formalize the industry more and more. So ultimately, honestly speaking, personally, I feel that the world is in a change, and the human skill and technology needs to come together. It is a new era that is about to begin, and I think this platform that we are hosting today will only allow all of us, the various associations, the industry, the stakeholders of the industry, all to come together and think of the strategies to move forward. To really look at an allegory, it is Lakshmi and Saraswati collaborating together to ensure that we are moving towards success, which is Ganesha, and more power, which is Kartik. So as we have just began with the Diwali, celebration of Diwali and Chhat Puja, I think with the blessing of God, we all come together for a much more golden journey for the industry and a sparkling journey ahead, and we move together. Thank you very much. Thank you all for spending your valuable time and being a part of this August gathering today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sen, for that fantastic theme address. And now I would request Mr. Samar Kumar De, Member, ICC, National Expert Committee on Jewelry and Lifestyle, and Director, Guinea Emporium, to kindly come and join us on the stage for a special address.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I would want to bring to your notice a very important topic which affects millions of Indians. Imagine a young couple about to be married, hoping to buy a gold, a symbol of prosperity, security, and tradition. But with gold price swearing to reach high, this dream slips out of reach for many. In India, gold price recently touched a startling rupees 78,000 per 10 grams, a 31% increase over last year. This makes it challenge for millions of Indians to afford gold upfront. Yet, while we can buy almost anything, phones, furniture, even vacation, on EMI, gold, the asset, rooted in our culture and financial security, remains largely increasable. For this unable to pay in full is not it's a time to ask why. Gold is not a mere luxury here. It's a profound financial tool essential for building family wealth and protesting against inflation. India's household over 25,000 tons of gold, valued at more than 1.5 trillion US dollar. Yet many Indians struggle to acquire due to a high upfront cost. With EMI options for gold, we would make this critical investment accessible for middle class family and young professionals, enabling them to buy gold in affordable investment rather than requiring a heavy one-time payment. In India, EMI options are available for nearly all high-value golds, from smartphone to cars, with a platform like Flipkart and Amazon. Amazon offering no-cost EMI, consumer spending on electronics and other goods has grown substantially. As people can plan, expand better, and enjoy gradually ownership. Why should gold, with a critical role in our culture and financial planning, be excluded? Many argue that EMI on gold could lead to over-leveraging. However, considering the success of EMI schemes across sectors, proper credit checks and borrowing limits have made this accessible, manageable, and suitable options for consumers. Responsible lending and transparency can ensure that EMI on gold remains a financial choice, opening the doors families who would otherwise have to go without. Think about the potential for financial inclusion. Offering EMI for gold could bring more people into the formal financial system, encouraging them to buy through legitimate, regulated channels instead of informal or high-interest alternatives. The ripple effects would extend beyond households, stimulating our economy as higher gold sales boost growth across the retail banking and manufacturing sector. In fact, economics project that this approach could increase the Indians' annual gold demand by 20 to 30%, spurring the broader economy benefits. Globally, the countries like the UAE already offer the installment plans for gold purchase, making gold accessible to all income groups. So, why should India, the world's second largest consumers of gold, lag behind? I ask you again, why not give every Indian, regardless of income, the chances to own this cherished asset? Why not allow them to invest in their future an affordable, practical way? The time is ripe, the logic is clear, and the impact is potentially transformative. Our PM एक चीज बोलता है क्या, सबका साथ सबका विकास. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Day. And now I would request Mr. Sabyasachi Ray, Executive Director, Gems and Jewellery Export Promotion Council, to kindly come and present the special address. And also, ladies and gentlemen, in a short while from now, we will be joined by our chief guest, Honorable Minister of State for Commerce and Industry, Government of India, Mr. Jitin Prasada. So we request your attention also. And yes, the stage is all yours, Mr. Ray.
Thank you. So very good morning to all, and very good morning to our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Jitin Prasada, Honorable Minister of State for Commerce and Industries, Government of India. And also, I would like to, welcome our guest of honor, Mr. Atul Kumar Tiwari, the Secretary Skill Development. I would also like to address Mr. Binod Mamalwal, Chairman, ICC, Mr. Shubhankar Sen, Mr. Samar Kumar De, Mr. Rajiv Saxena, CGM SBI, Mr. Pramod Agarwal, the Chairman of NGJCI, Mr. Sayyam Mehra, Mr. Sachin Jain, and Mr. Sripal Dholakia. So, we all of us are here with these three words, innovate, elevate, and globalize. Now, I would start, of course, the Gem and Jewellery Export Promotion Council. All of you in the room, I think you are aware what we do, who we are. Today, we are a community of members of more than 10,500 jewelers in the country, all over the country. And not only in the country, Gem and Jewellery Export Promotion Council is having now footprints in Dubai. We have created a very innovative center there for the MSMEs, the India Jewellery Expositions, where we help the MSMEs to find markets abroad, and piggybacking one of the very innovative initiatives of the Government of India of signing a CIPA, Comprehensive Export Promotion Agreement, basically. This is the first time that such a comprehensive FTA has been signed, and after that they followed it up with ECTA with Australia. In both these FTAs, GJEPC had a huge role to play to globalize this industry, and I can tell you what is the impact on the industry just on the CIPA, just on the signing of India-UAE CIPA. The exports to that country has grown by 17% in 1 year. And not only that, the plain gold jewelry has touched $5 billion from only $2 billion in 1 year of time. And $11 billion in 1 year, that is absolutely landmark agreement for us. And of course, all these members, whoever are there, they are setting up bases in Dubai. That is a gateway that is not itself a consumption center, but that is a gateway of reaching throughout the world. I would like to mention here, when you have this topic of, innovating, elevating, and globalizing, that day, Mr. Jaishankar, the Honorable Minister, External Affairs Minister, all of you know, he was there in the Bharat Diamond Bourse, and he was also there in the council office. One of the things we just put forward to him was, when will we cross China? How will we cross China, or how will we elevate ourselves to the standards of China? One of the things, very key things, what he has told, and I think our council is working the same path, is that if our country do not develop in manufacturing, of course we hear everything that services growing, 75% of the GDP is now services, all these things are true, but in the end of the day, till we do not grow in manufacturing, we cannot grow in innovation and you cannot touch China. Because you require an ecosystem through which you can test whatever you are innovating inside the country. So one of the things, how the government of India is following the path of manufacturing, I'll tell. GJEPC with National Council of Applied Economic Research, we had done a survey throughout India and we have found out that 200 manufacturing clusters are there. And if you have heard our Prime Minister what he is telling, that each district should be an export hub. So when you talk about innovation or elevation or globalization, it starts from India itself, from each of the clusters, from each of the districts. And that is where, one of the things what we found out is that we can very rapidly to grow the exports of the country, we have to grow back to these clusters. And one of the things what we have started is doing the cluster development. Because of that, just now you heard Shubhankar telling that the Common Facility Centers is one of the key initiatives. That means each cluster, if you want to elevate, if you have, the technology has to reach there, that is how you can reach there. So you can have a Common Facility Centers. Government is helping us. The Ministry of Commerce has helped us in creating those Common Facility Centers. And what is the next step? The next step is skilling, because once you have the technology, somebody has to run this technology. The Karigar should know how to run that technology. And Mr. Tiwari is there, thanks to him. GJEPC has signed an agreement with the Skill Development Ministry, and based on that, we are, through our infrastructure of IIGJ, across the country, we are training the Vishwakarmas. We are training in Udupi. Just yesterday, our people are in Calcutta, we are doing something in Guwahati, we are doing in Jaipur, we are doing. So throughout the country, one of the initiatives also, 1, 2, 3, if you see that if we want to develop, first is we have studied the clusters, we have found out where the manufacturing clusters. The second thing is that we have developed the Common Facility Centers, and after that we are skilling. And when we understood that skilling, of course, it is not only in MSME, in big time manufacturing also you require the technology. And that is one of the steps what with Government of India, with the Ministry of Commerce, again we are thankful to them. We have developed the Mega Common Facility Center at the 100 crore project, which our Honorable Prime Minister has inaugurated only last year. Through that Mega Common Facility Center, we are trying to transform the cutting edge manufacturing. We are boasting of a 3D printing, that 3D printer which is only available, the single machine which is available in Asia, the first machine in Asia is there. So this is how we are going into the path of development. And also if you ask about the innovation, again when we saw that the lab grown diamond technology is coming very rapidly, and we understood that China has already grown into HPHT technology. So, and also the CVD technology, the indigenous technology has to happen, Make in India has to happen. So again, we collaborated with government, and you have seen that 3 years back in the budget, the largest grant to the IIT for developing the indigenous technology for lab grown, 274 crores was granted. So this is how, we can go on and on how these things are developing. But the biggest thing, the next thing, if you want to globalize, you have to develop the market. Now, to develop the market, what is the first step? We all have to understand the fight is not between gold or diamond or platinum or silver. The fight is against categories, because the wallet of the consumers are the same. That wallet is being, we are all are trying to attract that wallet, and as jewelry, we need to attract that wallet. So in that process, one of the things what the council, we are working very hard is the generic promotion of jewelry. Whether it is gold jewelry or diamond jewelry, we are working very hard, and we are thankful Sachin is here. With World Gold Council, we have started the generic promotion. You all have seen that You Are Gold campaign. And also with diamonds, with Natural Diamond Council, with De Beers and Alrosa and etc., we have started the Natural Diamond Council. That Natural Diamond Council is for generic promotion, and I can tell you that GJEPC is the first one who have started this crowdfunding and pulling in funds to contribute into that fund. And That was the first time throughout the world somebody has heard that from each member we collect something and then we contribute to the fund for generic promotion of diamonds. So now all the other associations, you will hear very shortly that all the other associations of the world are also thinking on similar terms how to do it, because the natural diamond market, somewhere the demand shrinkage is there, maybe in China or in US, and to push that market up, the generic promotion, you will see that in near future we are already negotiating not only with the miners but also with other associations to see that the generic promotion happens in a big way. So these are the few things what I can tell you in the way of elevating this industry and globalizing this industry, because India, of course, we always tell that 14 out of 15 diamonds in the world are cut and polished in India. We are one of the largest studded jewelry manufacturing countries in the world. In jewelry manufacturing, we are the 4th largest country in the world. So that way we have a very strong manufacturing base. To increase this manufacturing base, we need to innovate, we need to embrace the technology, we need to skill our artisans, and we need to go global, just expanding the market. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Ray. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it brings me immense pleasure to welcome Mr. Atul Kumar Tiwari, Secretary, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India, for an address. And let us all, with a huge round of applause, welcome Mr. Tiwari. And sir, we are keen to hear your valuable words.
Good morning to everyone. Namaste. Mr. Vinod Samalwaji, Mr. Suvankar Sen, Mr. Samar Kumar De, Mr. Sabsachi Ray for speaking so eloquently about the need of the skilling, Mr. Rajiv Kumar Saxena, Sri Pramod Agarwal, Sri Sayam Mehra, Mr. Sachin Jain, Mr. Sripal Dholakia ji, and of course, our Honorable Minister of State, Mr. Jitin Prasada ji. I'm sorry for breaking the queue of the speakers here. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Sen and his colleagues for inviting me to this August gathering today and this summit. And before the meeting itself, we had some discussion on what are the skilling requirements and what is being done. And he also, Mr. Sen also explained what all the government, whether it is in the Commerce Ministry or Finance or otherwise, they are trying to do to encourage the gem and jewelry industry in India. Of course, there are some strong headwinds, the gold prices, the current geopolitical situation, the artificial diamonds, and some distress in the diamond cutting areas in our country, especially Gujarat. Whenever we have spoken to Honorable Prime Minister, he has always emphasized the crucial role that the skilling makes for our country to become competitive. Whatever the innovation, elevation, and globalization, as was very rightly pointed out Mr. Sen and also Mr. Ray, that depends upon the skilled manpower within our country. That we have done so much for the gem and jewelry, so much of diamond and so much of bullion, etc., is certainly a matter of pride. But we also have to see that whatever the benefits that the industry is doing, that also leads to the overall well-being and employment and other positive effects for the economy. I can tell you I can keep on rattling on and on about what all that we have done. We have done so many lakhs of training. As Mr. Ray was saying, we are also doing at present
under the PM Vishwakarma. And whether, I don't know, of course you all will be knowing that we have a Gems and Jewellery Skill Council of India, which is which looks into the sector of the gem and jewelry, and they are responsible for making so many job roles, also giving their requirements for skilling, etc. And a lot of work has happened in there, and a lot of more needs to be done. I have some data which I would not like to reel off, but because there is so much more to do in India of a country to scale it up. So I would like to give some suggestions here for the August gathering to perhaps deliberate and discuss among themselves. If it appears too matter of fact or too plain, please forgive me. One thing is very certain is that the good thing is that the industry is realizing that they need to come together and focus on the skilled manpower. And as has been mentioned about the confluence of Goddess Lakshmi and Goddess Saraswati, perhaps it is time to put our Guru, which is the Vishwakarma, into this, so that not only in this scheme per se, but also in general, we also take his benediction for growing the skilled capital in this sector. Under the PM Vishwakarma, the jeweler, the sonar, has been recognized as one of the trades which have been there in the existence since time immemorial in our rural areas. And it was the Honorable Prime Minister's vision that this trade, along with 17 other trades, should be recognized, and we should give them advanced training as well as tools, etc., and also link them with the finance. There are also the many areas where there are this kind of work is being concentrated, as was mentioned in certain parts of Maharashtra, Gujarat, Kolkata, Hyderabad, and all that, Chennai and all that. So what is that we should do? The one thing which we are in the skill ministry are always faced with is getting the right demand. And we have the Gem and Jewellery Skill Council of India, and we have so many councils, export councils, gold councils, this council, that council. Perhaps there is a need, perhaps it is happening already, which I am not aware. So if there is a cohesion in the whole sector, and when we put our common need, which is about getting the skilled workers, getting them from their hinterlands, getting them from the clusters and training them. And it has to be one step, two steps. Industry also has to come forward and indicate to us. Like Mr. Ray was saying, that we have worked with them. They have come forward, they have offered their centers of excellence, and there are so many ways that the skilling can be done. In our normal skilling also, we have found that there is a greater reliance on CAD and CAD machines. We also get a reliance on 3D printing. In fact, in the world skill competition also, we had one entrant which was there for the gem and jewelry design as well. And when we went for their national selection, I was amazed at the kind of the creativity which they employed. So this is one area where the industry need to come together and work with under the aegis of Skill Council, Sector Skill Council, and identify their needs in very, very particular terms. What generally happens is that the Skill Council, we call them in our parlance, we call them the job roles. And these job roles also keep on changing, and they need updating in terms of the new technology which was being discussed by Mr. Sen. So the first idea is that let's whatever the demand is there, in different categories of demand, how do we modernize them with the use of technology, and where is that is required? That is the first thing we'd like to know from this sector. And second thing would be like to arrange the already existing facilities and other such things are there where we can take it forward. And even under the PM Vishwakarma also, what we are giving now is the normal upskilling, but there is a up-end skilling also which is possible, and that sector can also be utilized and used by the council and this sector. The last thing I would say is that under the guidance of Honorable Prime Minister, we also have the new ITI scheme has been announced, in which there is a lot of financial flow is there. Over 60,000 crore has been announced. And if the council, the GM and Sector Skill Council, if they feel that it is perhaps possible to find out certain clusters where these training centers can be taken up, so certainly we'll be more than willing to engage with the industry and the associations so that we can have very focused gem and jewelry focused skilling centers within our skilling ecosystem as well. Finally, I would like to tell all of you that our ministry stands committed to provide all kinds of support to the industry if they come forward. And as I say earlier, if you come one step forward, we'll come two steps forward and work together with you to create this skill capital in India. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words and for addressing the August gathering and helping us develop a better understanding on the theme. And on that note, we'll move forward, and I would welcome Mr. Rajiv Kumar Saxena, Chief General Manager, Commercial Clients Group 1, SBI, to kindly come forward and present a special address.
Very good morning to all. Respected Mr. Atul Kumar Tiwari, though he has left right now, Mr. Vinod Bablama, Mr. Sen, Mr. Samar Kumar De, Mr. Ray, Mr. Sachin Jain, Mr. Sairam Mehra, Mr. Pramod Agarwal, and Mr. Shipal Dholkia also. So, good morning to everybody. I thank Indian Chambers of Commerce for inviting me for the today's summit. There cannot be a better timing than this to have this meeting, because the industry has been facing some challenges. As far as industry scenario is concerned, the earlier speakers, they have spoken about the industry scenario. So there we can divide the industry into two parts. One in the gold part, one is the diamond part. So our gold part, definitely it is doing very well. As far as diamond part is concerned, because export is involved in that particular part, so there are certain issues. So as far as Indian gems and jewelry industry is one of the most prominent industry of our country. This contributes almost 7.5% of the total export of the country and is the 6th largest exporter from the country. And the size of the market is also around $89 billion, approximately. So, though the export, there are issues, but the domestic market has been doing very well for the last couple of years. The declining trend in export is basically because of the declining trend, because of the issues related to the USA and China, which are the major importing countries, particularly the diamond. Though we have also the new technology like lab-grown diamond that can impact the labor-intensive production. I don't know how much it will impact, how much it is going to impact the industry, diamond industry in particular, but that needs to be seen. With rising conflict, the industry will face increasing pressure on ESG also, particularly the blood diamond and conflict gold, and there are sanctions from the set market. Since India has virtually no domestic production of the gold and precious stones, so Indian industry more or less is dependent upon the import. So latest state figures show that in 2024, India imported almost 46 billion worth of gold. The major suppliers are Switzerland, UAE, South Africa, and USA. So, given the uncertain global conditions, the sector has met the revenue through focus on domestic market. Both investment and jewelry demand have been robust in post-COVID period. The Indian jewelry market continues to thrive, driven by a blend of traditional cultural segments and modern consumer trends. In fact, revenue of the major pillars, if you see the last 5, 6, or 7 years of trend, revenue of the major pillars during the last couple of years has increased considerably, and their share in the total branded jewelry have also increased considerably from 15-20 to almost 40% now. So demand for gold jewelry in India mainly depend upon the wedding season. And fortunately, right now the November wedding season is going to start very shortly. So we hope a good market for the gold and diamond jewelry in the next coming few months. Okay, just a second.
सेक्टर बड़ा है मगर
So recently, Government of India has also taken a lot of steps to support this industry. Though India has been known for the gold since ages, the inauguration of the Surat Diamond Works is just a continuation of the long history of the consolidation. Today, Gujarat, Bombay, Jaipur, Kerala are major centers of the gems and jewelry manufacturing business in India. In fact, in the recent budget, July 2020 budget, lot of concession have been given to the gems and jewelry industry. Reduction in the import duty on gold was one that thing. So now coming to the bank directly, because the minister has also come, so he would like to speak. So I'm directly coming to the bank. What SBI has been doing for the gems and jewelry industry, gems and jewelry as an industry and otherwise also. As you know, SBI is the largest bank of the country in most of the parameters, whether it's in terms of the customer base, whether it's in terms of the level of the deposit or advances, whether it is in terms of the market share, whether it is balance sheet size, number of the employees, profit, etc. In fact, our balance sheet is almost 20% of the India's gross domestic product. So if India grows, State Bank of India also grows. So as on June 2024, State Bank of India has a total gems and jewelry exposure of around 22,000 crore, which is, and the total exposure to the gems and jewelry industry from all the banks put together is around 84,000 crore. So SBI has a share of around 18 and 19%, between 18 and 19%, which was around 17% just 1 year back. So it has increased by 100 basis points during the last 1 year. Apart from the challenges in the Indian basic custom duty structure, government has also taken many enabling measures. India International Bullion Exchange at the Gift City in Gujarat was inaugurated recently. State Bank of India has secured the distinction of being the first bank to become a trading cum clearing partner at IIBX. So I don't know how many of you are utilizing that facility, but this is a facility which every gems and jewelry unit should utilize. So we have more than 70 branches which are engaged in such type of business. We have 4 specific branches which are doing only the jewelry business. They don't do any other thing other than jewelry business. So as far as challenges are concerned, as far as banking challenges are concerned, because most of the industry is inorganized, with only small percentage of the units operating as organized large-scale manufacturers. Due to low capital requirements for a small workshop, this sector has remained unorganized. As the most of the units in manufacturing and retailing are MSME and largely run by family offices, lack of robust financial documentation makes it challenging for the bank to assess their credit worthiness. Valuation of inventory is a big challenge in this sector as the bank is facing difficulty in valuing the inventory due to peculiar nature of the industry. It is worthwhile to educate the sector on using new forms of business organizations such as one-person company, limited liability partnerships, LLP, etc. In all, in my opinion, the Indian and jewel sector has the requisite sources and expertise to adapt the challenging condition. One should be mindful that jewelry supply side GVC have a history of sharp and swift reordering. Italy lost its dominant position in jewelry in 2000 to India and China. We should not get away the advantage we have won during the last couple of years. In conclusion, let me summarize my position. With changing time, it is the need for Indian gems and jewelry industry to revisit its said business model. As traditional export market faces lot of demand, there is a need to revisit the export strategy. Volatility in export prices is likely to continue for some more months or some more years. So training of manpower, technology updation, and close watch of emerging artificial substitute is required to preserve revenue and margin. I once again thank ICC for inviting me to the summit and thank the audience also for a patient listening. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Saxena, for that special address. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it brings me immense pleasure to welcome our chief guest for the occasion, Shri Jitin Prasada Ji, Honorable Minister of State for Commerce and Industry, Government of India. Let us all put our hands together and welcome our chief guest for the occasion. And I would request Mr. Vinod Bamalwa, Chairman, ICC National Expert Committee on Jewellery and Lifestyle, Director Nemi Chand Bamalwa and Sons, and Mr. Suvankar Sen, to kindly come up on the stage and welcome our chief guest. Thanks a lot, sir, for your valuable presence. We are grateful to you. And on that note, let us all move towards the lamp and let us light the lamp and begin this conclave on a very auspicious note in the presence of our chief guest. This lamp represents the guiding light of our event. As the lamp is lit, let us take a moment to reflect upon the values of enlightenment, harmony, and unity that this light signifies. May this flame illuminate our path and inspire us to strive for excellence in all our endeavors. Let it serve as a reminder of the collective wisdom and knowledge we gather here today. Let us carry the radiance of the symbolic light throughout our program, guiding us towards success and prosperity. May this light always serve as a guiding light to help us identify our goals and endeavors and achieve them with the kind of positivity this light is creating at this moment. Our heartfelt gratitude once again to all our dignitaries. I request you all to kindly take your seats on the dais. And I would request Mr. Sachin Jain, Regional CEO, India, World Gold Council, to kindly come and present the special address.
Distinguished guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor for us as World Gold Council to be associated with this phenomenal platform. And over the last 6 or 7 years that we've been associated as De Beers and as World Gold Council with ICC, I'll tell you the reason why it's very significant. Honorable Minister, it's an honor for us to have you as a part of our industry and my esteemed colleagues to share this dais with you. Not because the respectable minister is here, but I think it's good to reflect where are we as a country and what's really happening. Yesterday or day before yesterday, the election was on news. We've all talked about it. The discussion on impact of gold impact in India has been discussed, but I think where we stand as a country, whether it was Trump or the other person, India was still strong. And I'm sure respectable minister will talk about it a little more. While America is the biggest trade partner of India, while America is the largest export destination of India, so trade will matter. There will be a Trump too in a different version of how that'll impact. But let's reflect where are we in this country and why this gathering of people and minds is important. You know, we're talking about India as, you know, all the incremental growth happening in the world. India contributes 20% of that. We are today the 5th largest economy in the world, slated to be the 4th largest economy by end of next year. by 27, we'll be the third largest economy in the world. The changes in last 10 years, if we've seen, it's almost like a very steady steering wheel, which is leading our country. And today we are in the flux of great reforms, great changes, policy decisions that have happened that have all impacted us. One of the examples that I read yesterday was that the subsidy in petroleum was 200 lakh crore, and that is almost zero today, and all that money is getting invested in capital investments to build the infrastructure, which is the core of our country. The fact that we've had 82 new airports in the last few years, we've had 67 Vande Bharat trains. I'm sure, sir, you will tell about how many corridors are getting developed and where we as a country are headed. We recently heard from the Civil Development Secretary, median age of India today is 29 years old, median age of China is 39 years old, median age of America is 49, Japan is touching 60. Just reflect on the next 10, 20 years how we will lead the world as India. And we all need to be, importantly and participant about that. There's a logo over here which says India 2047, and that's a very important destination led by the Prime Minister on what will be India at 100 years of our independence. We're talking about Viksit Bharat, and an economy which is today $3.5 trillion, turning to $30 trillion, and it's possible if we just do an aggregate of 9% per year growth. And all that is possible. All that is perhaps very simply possible. But why I started saying this platform is important, because if we are $3.5 trillion today, and we perhaps have the opportunity to be at $30 trillion in the next few years, 90% of that is yet to be made. And I have very high confidence that people in this room, the leadership of our industry, led by the leadership of the government, will pave the way to take decisions and make direction of how this 90% has to be created. Because all this is yet to be done and created. So this platform is important. Now just narrowing down on the world of gold, there's lots happening in the world of gold. This year, 2024, we've seen 42 peaks of the gold price. It's all led by, it's a very interesting dichotomy that we're in. Whether it's the world economy around geopolitics, which is playing on, central banks are buying, the whole world of investment is changing. But the important thing is that gold continues to be a very important part of the social fabric in India, and that it is today and continues to be in the future. There'll be a lot of discussions about what will happen in the short term, but I think the key for us as an industry will be to keep a very sharp eye on 2047, which is long term, but also a very sharp eye on what needs to be done in the short term. And I'll just share with you a few things that World Gold Council we're up to and what we are taking on. Respectable Minister, you'll be very happy to know that we are setting out the first self-regulatory organization in the entire world, or first in the world in the value chain of gold. And the four stalwarts who are going to be leading that are here in the dais and here. So we have the leading organizations from India, Gems and Jewellery Export Promotion Council, Pramodji's Council. We have Sanyam over here who's leading the GJC. We have Chetan over here from the IDRA. These four organizations will be together to lead the first self-regulatory organization as an independent body. We tossed it up in August, and we roll it out for the industry starting the first part of January. That's a very important, significant step for us. The second project that we're going to be taking a lot of seriousness on is that, when you look at this room, I think we need to do a lot, Suvankar and Vinod. Maybe perhaps next time in this room, we have to have more women and we have to have more younger people. I think, that'll be the key because that reflects India. But importantly, as a gold business, we think that the relationship with the millennial and younger generation is extremely important. Do we do it well as an industry? Perhaps not. We just completed Dhanteras, a very successful Dhanteras, but I will urge the industry to pick up a newspaper of Dhanteras. And while the ads have gone multiple and the paper is this thick, not many of that communication relates to the millennials as an industry. And we need to change that. So as World Gold Council, we'll be going to be creating a highway. And if I may sort of quote, almost recreating what the diamond business has done of creating a diamond is forever, we need to create a similar version of what is gold to the millennial, and the entire industry can use it. So that'll be out in the first quarter, and we will get it out to the industry where everybody from the industry can use it and be a part of it. We're going to be working with the government on the goal to, or the 2047 destination of Viksit Bharat, and then prepare our industry as to what we as an industry need to be ready with in 2040, 2035, 2030, and perhaps today. So there are a few of these things that are extremely important for us, and we're shaping them for the future of our business. World Gold Council is the catalyst for our business. Please work with us, and we'll be here to support right from ideation, right from execution, what are researches. But we believe that India, in this destination of 2047, $30 trillion economy, the gold value play is going to be large, and we should be out there to make it happen. With these words, I'll thank again the organizers of ICC and thanking you all to getting us here. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Jain. And now, I would request all the dignitaries to kindly come forward for the overview and release of knowledge report by Policy Consensus Center. This report is to develop the skill of our artisans, bridge the financial gap across various layers in the industry, and the need for increase of exports and make India a global powerhouse in the gems and jewelry sector. So here we are releasing the knowledge report by Policy Consensus Center. Thank you so much, dignitaries. And now, on this note, I would request our chief guest to kindly come forward and address the August gathering with his valuable words.
Thank you. I'm very glad I could make it today for this Gems Jewellery Summit. And with me here is Mr. Pramod Agarwal, Sayam Mehra, Sachin Jain, Rajiv Kumar Saxena, Mr. Sabyasachi Ray, Mr. Samir Kumar De, Mr. Suvankar Sen, and Mr. Vinod Bamalwa, and various other stakeholders in this room, which is packed. And my only request in the very beginning is that the sector is so vibrant and so big. So the next time when you have these conferences, you should have a better and a bigger room, so that the stage is not crowded, though, like the way it is. And I'm sure it can be done. So it only adds to the vibrancy of the sector, and every event is keenly watched. And it goes a long way in ensuring that the momentum remains. And I'm glad that I'm here. I was just getting some sort of briefing while I was on the dais. And this sector is so vibrant. It represents the cultural heritage of India as well. And it has seen growth in terms of exports and certain sectors of, I believe, in diamonds, cut diamonds. India is one of the biggest players in the world. But a lot has been done, and a lot needs to be done. And it is only through these interactions and these conferences where everyone collects and shares best practices. All stakeholders are here, from the ministry to the various organizations by the ministry, the other interministerial players such as the skill development that's being talked about, and other organizations under the one umbrella. So once you all collect and sit down and decide the way forward, it acts as a roadmap, not only for you in the sector, but also the government. And we can decide and work together as to what the priorities are, what the shortcomings are, where the challenges are. And I'm told there are challenges in this sector as well because of the geopolitical situations, the steady stream supply of raw materials, and then also the competition in the markets within India and of course overseas. And those sectors and those countries and those areas have to be looked at. And I can assure you that I also have been given the responsibility in this Commerce Ministry by Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, who is very much concerned and is advocating the cause of the jewel industry, the jewelry industry. And I remember when he had gone and met Mr. Biden, he had gone and presented him the uncut diamond, or what is it called? Lab-grown diamond. And, that just goes to show that India's identity is also becoming from your sector, and the government is fully behind you in terms of exploring more avenues, increasing our exports, reducing our overseas dependence, ensuring the best infrastructure available in the country. And there have been the diamond bars had been made in Gujarat, and a big center of in Madras, where there's a facilitation center, I believe, and some CFCs that are across India, Mr. Garg. So we are very much on track, and I can say to you that whatever help and whatever issues within the government and overseas that you face, hurdles, regular interaction, regular inputs from you, we could work out ways, and it will be a top priority, because, the third term of the Modi government is a record in its sorts, because I don't see anywhere, when I look around, that in these recent years, any government has come for the third time. It's a big, big achievement, and the people's mandate is with us. But each election throws up a different message. The earlier ones could be on transparency, one could be on infrastructure, but this one is for jobs and job creation. That's the message from the people of India. And your sector would play a great role in ensuring that we skill our people who are naturally designed and have that competitive edge across the world to manufacture, and that labor force, maybe on both issues, on manufacturing and design also, that could be looked into. We have the space, we have the manpower, we have the infrastructure, and as the previous speaker had just said, how India is transforming from our highways to our airports, to our railways, to the economy is being strengthened, not only at the top, but at the grassroots level. There's a huge market within the country, and we should tap that. And with that, the India story and the India market, we can also get our views and our work towards our advantage internationally, because nobody can do without India in today's time, I can assure you. So whatever roadblocks you face, you feel free to communicate to the ministry, so that we could take up your issues across the world. And today the world listens to India, I can assure you that. And wherever I go, we might not have that top edge cutting technology at the moment, but we are on our way. And in these 100 days of this government, usually what used to happen is that in the first 3-4 months, the babus used to just make an outline as to which way the government will go. But now I can tell you about the high-speed corridor. The 3 lakh crores have already been sanctioned. That's one sector. I don't know how much has been done. So we are ready to go from day one. We want to ensure that our various sectors, especially yours, which is exports, which is jobs, which has great potential in India, grows even further. And I was talking to people in the dais, and they told me a lot of CSR work is being done. And it's pretty Bengal-centric, as I can make out from Mr. Ray, from Mr. Day, from Mr. Sen, whose names I've just read out. But of course, Bengal has that advantage, and that should be used. But we could take it even further across the country and skill everywhere. And I could start off with my constituency, you know, because it has the largest Bengali population in UP is in Pilibhit. So that's my, you know, the CSR, your skilling should be across the country, and job creation should be paramount, and it should be quality education, quality vocational training, so that they're not only competitive within India, or they're only not dependent in India, and they get access to everywhere across the world. And since we do have that expertise, and we have that kind of skilled manpower and that intent and that historical advantage, I think we should use it. And not only about exports and about rupees and billions and stuff like that, it's about the cultural identity of India as well, where, you know, our designs are specific and worldwide they appreciate it, and they send a message across the world that India has a niche in this sector. So I'm glad I'm here, and I got the opportunity to meet some of you. But in days to come, feel free. Any issues, any problems, any suggestions should be brought across freely, and we should work together as a team and ensure that the vision of our Prime Minister, a strong, vibrant India and a strong, vibrant jewelry sector, even grows further. And with that, I end, and I thank you all for having invited me here. And next time, I'll try and light the lamp better. Thank you.
We are again indebted, sir, for your kind words and your address to the August gathering. I would now request Mr. Vinod Bamalwa and Mr. Suvankar Sen to kindly come forward and present a memento as a token of gratitude to the Honorable Minister. Our gratitude, sir, for your valuable time. And now I would request Mr. Arindam Goswami, co-founder and partner of Policy Consensus Center, to kindly come forward and present an overview of the knowledge report which was just released.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you, ICC, for making us a part of the 6th Gems and Jewelry Conference. I recall both Nirupama and I were author for the first one, and it's an immense and great pride for us to basically feel proud to be part of it again, once again today. This report specifically is on the theme, as it says, innovate, elevate, globalize, for pioneering new horizons for India's gems and jewelry industry. Based on the theme of the conference and the sessions of the conference, there are three aspects to it. I'll just run through very quickly. Access to credit, which is one of the prior elements for running a business. Next, skill development, branding and branding and export. We have thank you. I've listed out the challenges, if you can see over there. So access to credit, the basic challenges that we face today are for three particular reasons that formal access to credit exists. One, high compliance. Two, collateral requirements. Three, complex paperwork. So most micro and small jewelers who today want to access credit from formal organizations, formal institutions, financial institutions, it's difficult for them to basically get the proper documents such as, or present proper documents such as bills, credits, and the necessary paperwork required for a loan. Collateral requirements again is very difficult for smaller participants of the industry, and due to lower educational qualifications, at times paperwork becomes a problem for them. Silver cardigars especially face a problem with raw material. So, accessing silver as a raw material is again a problem. Access to credit has always been a problem for jewelry purchasers who are the customers of the industry, because there exists almost no kind of support for them to buy jewelry from any formal institution. Next, on skill development, although the government programs have been quite great, but the outreach has been low due to almost no publicity being done, and for that matter, the reach of the programs have not reached up to the lower level. So again, skill development is kind of difficult due to the no job, no pay conditions of most of the jewelers, especially the smaller participants, because who will be usually unwilling to upskill themselves in absence of any monetary incentive. Another problem being the generic training, because most jewelers who would like to come and apply, or for that matter get trained, they are usually trained at home, mostly because this is more of a generational business. The new ones do not find it quite lucrative enough to come and take up jewelry designing, due to, of course, lower economic benefits. Third, branding and export. Lack of consistent branding, uniform branding for the sector has been a problem. High cost of compliance and logistics also play an important role, which deter many small jewelers, especially smaller exporters, for branding in the foreign market. I come to the recommendations now. Simplifying collateral requirements, flexible repayment options for loans, minimal paperwork, and outreach programs by banks and financial institutions among small jewelers would encourage them for accessing formal credit programs. It has been also suggested that if the PM Vishwakarma program can be also extended to a PM Vishwakarma loan, especially for smaller jewelers and smaller players in the industry, especially the micro and the small ones, that can help their business grow. Silver metal loans on the lines of a gold metal loan will be an excellent proposition for access of raw material. And EMI facility and affordable loan options for jewelry purchases in line with high-value electronic goods can also push retail sales of jewelry. Financial incentives such as stipends and subsidies for educational and skilling loan for cardigars will be appreciated by the jewelers, and I'm sure that might push adoption of skilling programs more among the smaller players. Increasing collaboration between regional skill development authorities, training institute, and the jewelry industry to create better apprenticeship programs, mentorship programs will also push skilling to a large extent. There is also need for better cooperation among state government and local authorities and local jewelry councils and associations to create awareness among far and distant areas, villages and smaller regions, for aspiring cardigars to basically come forward and take up skilling programs. again, partnering with luxury brands and designers in global fashion hubs to create collections and fuse Indian heritage with contemporary aesthetics will appeal to the global audience more and will help more with exports to increase exports. Collaboration with well-known personalities and public figures, actors, style influencers from focused regions to promote brand India jewelry through targeting specific market areas can also help in branding and increasing export. Promoting wearing brand India jewelry among NRIs and Indian living abroad through Pravasi Bharatiya communities and the NRI communities will help make jewelry wearing and Indian jewelry wearing. It can help the increase of export as well as make it more stylish and fashionable wearing Indian jewelry among people outside India. And the last, promoting handmade and handcrafted Indian jewelry through storytelling around artisanal heritage, cultural influence, and about how Indian jewelry came into being. That should also improve because storytelling usually catch eye of people. Using e-commerce and online platforms to boost and overseas reach to a global audience will offer a more comprehensive selection of handcrafted and bespoke jewelry pieces. That again helps in branding as well as helps in export. The last, GI tags, the use of GI tags, geographic indicator tags among the industry and whatever is already there, the existing GI tags can be used as well as more GI tags for specific jewelries across India should be hired up and leveraged to basically brand the jewelry better. Thank you. And if there are any questions, you can direct it to arindam@policyconsensus.org. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Goswami. And now I would request Mr. Sayam Mehra, Chairman, All India Gem and Jewelry Domestic Council, to kindly come and present the special address.
Thank you. Thank you all. Good afternoon. Chairman, Mr. Vinod Bamalwa, Mr. Swankar Sen, Mr. Samar Kumar De, Mr. Sabyasachi Ray, Mr. Rajiv Kumar Saxena, my friend Sachin Bhai Jain, Mr. Pramod Agarwal ji, guest of honor, Mr. Atul Kumar Tiwari ji, Mr. Jatin Prasada ji, and Shripal Dholakia ji. GJC has three mottos: protecting, progressing, promoting, in line with innovate, globalize, elevate. Thank you to my friends, Vinod ji and Swankar Bhai, for having me here. GJC having members more than 3,500 members, affiliated members more than 70,000, ZCMs more than 200, and our board members are always working for the growth of the gem and jewelry industry. We have different verticals now. The legal vertical, which is working closely with the government for the different norms that are affecting the gem and jewelry industry. 2 years before, when me, my vice chairman, and a few of our board members met the finance minister, we discussed about the reduction in import duty, because of which more than 100 tons of smugglings was happening in the many years, which was taken very seriously. And now the duty has been reduced to 6%. We see what we've got. We see a further reductions in the coming years to come. What our board member Samar Kumar Deji had said about the EMI, whenever any individual wants to go and buy a mobile, a house, or any other product, white goods, the EMI is there with them. They can avail the EMI facilities. But when a child wants to buy for his mother a gold chain or a set, the EMI facility is not available. We've discussed about that. We've discussed about the other schemes where the 2 crore rupees only can be availed by an entrepreneur in unsecured loans. This should be increased to 5 crore rupees in the coming years. The GST in many countries, we can see when we go and buy jewelry in Singapore, Malaysia, other countries, from the airport, the GST can be taken as a refund. We've given that suggestion to the Finance Ministry, where the refund, whenever NRIs or Indians, whoever are staying outside the country, and they want to buy jewelry from their family jeweler in India, they can easily, those NRIs can take a refund from the airports, thereby increasing the sales of the domestic jeweler here in the country. On the side of Labham, we are running a program which name is Labham. 177 Labhams we've done in the last 4 years, where we are teaching the youth, the new jewelers, how to be compliant, how to understand the government laws, how to increase their sales, how to show the jewelry to the end consumers, how to avail the bank loans. 177 cities we've covered, where we have had a gathering more than 300 to 400 people in each and every city to educate them about the policies and what GJC is doing and helping them in the future. Generation Next program we've done. Today we can see the youth again coming back to the gem and jewelry industry, but in the past many years we've seen that the youth was getting motivated to maybe be a doctor, an engineer, or working outside the country. But the 95% of the industry is now come into books. We are seeing more than 800 tons of gold being imported every year, more than 7 to 8 lakh crores of business happening every year. Every year we think, or we as the gold rates have increased by more than 32% to 40% this year, कि शायद इस साल सोना कम बिकेगा. लेकिन मैं आपको फिगर्स बता दूं कि January to September 660 tons of import has happened in gold, wherein last year during this 9 months it was only 484 tons. In silver, more than 5,900 tons, wherein last year it was 1,100 tons. So the hunger for gold in the gem and jewelry sector, especially in India in the domestic sector, where when I met the Prime Minister few years back, we told him there are 3 lakh jewelers in the country. He said कि 3 लाख ज्वेलर नहीं हैं, इंडिया में 6 लाख गांव हैं, तो 6 लाख ज्वेलर तो होंगे ही. So the industry in the organized sector is increasing manifold. The domestic sector is increasing manifold. We are doing Preferred Manufacturer of India program, wherein 42 manufacturers and more than 300 buyers are coming, wherein 2,000 tons of business is happening, and 3 of these shows are happening throughout the country. We are doing 2 GJS gem and jewelry shows, wherein more than 25,000 crores of business is happening in both the shows. Our Prime Minister की सोच है कि जो 40 बिलियन एक्सपोर्ट इंडस्ट्री है वो 80 बिलियन डॉलर्स तक चले जाए. हमने कम से कम 6 to 7 इंटरनेशनल रोड शोज किए हैं. दुबई, कतर, and we've been to US, we've been to Malaysia, we've been to Singapore, we've been to Bahrain, and we will continue to do so for our coming exhibitions, जहाँ पे 40 बिलियन to 80 बिलियन का उनका टारगेट है, लेकिन GJS और PMI के शोज से और इंटरनेशनल ट्रैवल से हमारा GJC और GJS के थ्रू 5 to 7 बिलियन की एक्सपोर्ट्स हम किस तरीके से इसके अंदर बढ़ा सकें, हमारी ये सोच है. We are doing Lucky Lakshmi, wherein last year we've spent 17 crores of rupees. हमारे B2B शोज बहुत हो रहे हैं और इंडिया के अंदर 64 B2B शोज हो रहे हैं. आने वाले फरवरी में 3 और B2B शोज दिल्ली में ही होंगे. बट देर इज नो B2C प्लान. हमने इंटरनली अपने ज्वेलर्स को, रिटेलर्स को बहुत माल दे दिया है, लेकिन एंड कंज्यूमर्स आज अगर हम देखेंगे तो आप देखेंगे कि चाहे वो वाइट गुड इंडस्ट्री हो, चाहे एग्स की भी इंडस्ट्री हो, संडे हो या मंडे, रोज का वनडे, सारे जो एक इंडस्ट्री एग्स की भी होगी वो भी साथ में आके मार्केटिंग करते हैं. वैसे ही जीजेसी ने इस साल भी लकी लक्ष्मी का आयोजन किया, जहां पर मोर देन 1000 रिटेलर्स हैव कम टुगेदर एंड वी आर अगेन planning to spend more than 17 to 20 crores, wherein we have already booked more than 300 screens at PVR. We've booked more than 500 hoardings all throughout the country. We have also booked a lot of influencers where we are going and trying to influence the youth, the people in the mid-age to buy gem and jewelry again. And we can see that year on year, where the sales are highest during the time of Diwali, from October to 9th of November, we are planning to have this program, wherein we are targeting a sales of more than 10,000 crores from the existing sales through this project of Lucky Lakshmi. So we are thankful. We are working very closely with the ICC, and whatever need be for the karigars, for the youth, I would like to tell my friends Vinodji and Suankar Bhai and the entire my friends from Calcutta, Sunny Bhai is here, Harshad Bhai is here, Somik Bhai is here, are both directors, Sunil Bhai and Samar Dada, who is working very hard in the West Bengal or the east of the country to take the GJC and to take working closely with ICC. We are always there together. And one more thing, last thing I would like to say, always we think that आज हमें एक डिफरेंट तरीके की ज्वेलरी ब्रांड्स अपने पहनने हैं, चाहे वो हर्मीज का बैग हो, चाहे एलवी का हो. इन द इंटरनेशनल मार्केट, व्हेनेवर जीजेसी इज गोइंग, वी आर ऑलवेज टॉकिंग व्हाट इंडियन हैंडमेड कारीगर्स आर डूइंग टुडे. क्योंकि आज अगर आपको इटली में चले जाएं, मलेशिया में चले जाएं, इंडोनेशिया में चले जाएं, वहां की ज्वेलरी तो सिर्फ कुछ ही स्टाफ, 8 लोग 10 लोग बैठ के टन्स ऑफ ज्वेलरी बनाते हैं. लेकिन इंडियन हैंडमेड ज्वेलरी इज इम्पॉसिबल टू रिप्लेस इन द वर्ल्ड. 15 ways of making it, and whenever we are exporting from Mumbai, from Calcutta, from Delhi, from Rajkot, from Coimbatore, from Trichur, whenever the people in the world are looking at it, they are actually saying that this cannot, there is no competition to it. And whenever we have engaged the influencers outside the world, we always motivate Indian handmade jewelry, because whenever a female in the Gulf, in Dubai, in Saudi, she does not feel pride in wearing the machine-made jewelry. She feels pride when she wears Indian handmade jewelry. So this is something which GJC is spending on, and whatever our karigars are actually making is something which we are motivating the international women, that this is the thing of the new age, and this is the thing which actually takes 15 to 45 days to manufacture, and it is impossible in any of the machine-made jewelry manufacture countries to make. So this is something which we are motivating to do. We will be having more than 50 to 70 road shows every year in India, and 4 to 7 road shows internationally to motivate handmade jewelry, also Indian gold, platinum and diamond jewelry. So thank you again to all my friends here. Thank you to the World Gold Council, Sachin Bhai, who's always been closely working together with GJC. We are always there. Labham, in Labham we are supporting iAges, and we will also be doing it in the coming future. Compliance and getting organized is the next step to the gem and jewelry industry. Shriramji from GIA has always been there supporting GJC. My friend from IBX, Gautam ji, we always there. And gold, अभी जिस तरीके से IBX के through आ रहा है, मुझे लगता है कि जिस तरीके से internationally now we are internationally now एक जमाना था जहां पर काफी लोगों के तरफ से हम लोग के गोल्ड आता था. Now the jewelers are very proud that we are now associated with IBX, where we can bring the gold directly at the correct rates to the Indian markets. In future, GJC and all the other organizations will be happy to being associated. So thank you. Over to Pramod ji.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Mehra. And now I would request Mr. Pramod Agarwal, Chairman, National Gem and Jewellery Council of India, to kindly come forward for a special address.
Good afternoon. My friends on dais, Subhankar Sen ji, Sayam Mehra ji, Sachin Jain ji, Sabyasachi Ray and Saxena ji, of course Vinod ji Bambalwa, and in front of me, Sri Samar Dey ji, Sripal ji Dholakia, Gautam ji, Anil Sankwal ji, and all the colleagues from the industry. And as you heard before, our dynamic State Minister of Commerce and Industry, Sri Jitin Prasad ji and Tiwari ji. Our minister is very dynamic. You must have heard him well, and he said straight away, whatever required, you please come out. And not only Calcutta, to spread across the country, all the CSR activities. It is honored to be here, part of this 6th ICC Gems and Jewellery Summit. This is a very important event for us, and the theme which you have taken, innovate, elevate, globalize, and pioneering new horizons of India. It's a really, really very good, which is need of our. And thank you to IICC to come up with innovative ideas. As we all know, that more than 50 lakh workers are in this industry. And as previous speeches, a lot of things already spoken by my colleague, this Sabyasachi Ray, how the council is performing gem and jewelry export council with institutes and skilling workers. Similarly, how you have been spoken, Mr. Sen, that how things are moving. So a lot of things are going on. The most important thing which is required today to elevate more to our workers, to their in-house manufacturing infrastructure, which is very, very important. If you go into the workshops, their infrastructure is most important for us. They is the backbone of the country. So you can see today what Samir Mehraji said, that we have, our youth is coming to now coming to a business. But I want that my Karigar, honors children should come back to the art of what they have, feeling that their father is waste time now, they should come. So when they see this infrastructure, they get proper value addition, they get proper labor, what the hard work they are doing it. Since India is the rightly said that earlier speech, that we are the #1 in handmade jewelry manufacturing. Each state and each areas have different art, and if we take that to elevate the next level, we will be known beatable in the world market, where with the technology and handcraftsmanship will really help. As recently the other speeches, Saji said that there is a Bharat Ratnam, which is a very important, which Honorable Prime Minister has done it for the CFC, and more CFCs are in the country. And as cluster study has been done by the Council, by the support of Ministry of Commerce, which is also very helpful. We should see how we can grow these karigars and manufacturing hubs to elevate and all. Same time, we have to see how the sustainability is very important. Because if you have to go global standards, we have to see that also. Recycling or metals, which is very important. Number 3, the National Gem and Jewellery Council of India is working with the government to see how India can be leader in the world market for bullion and gold refinery. Since, if you all know, the Switzerland is not a mining country, but still they are the global leader for refining and exporting country. So government, we had a series of meetings, and they have given the role to National Council Gems of India to draft ASOP to make Indian good delivery gold bars. So whatever refiners makes it, it should be hallmarked and sell it. So we can be respected like other countries. And in that view also, we are recommending government to give more duty reduction on the Dore imports. So India can be global hub since we are the major consumer also, and we can be exporting country also, so we can be global leader. Same way the government has been talking about there is a things going on in lab grown and diamonds. So government is looking how to make it so consumer protection and how to grow both verticals side by side. So we are working on that. The important thing is the marketing, how we bring our Indian product to market brand India. That is very important so we can get the value in our country. As you see anything, any name, but they see Italy. So Italy is the one only sells. So we should look after in this conference that how we can make India to global platform. So people see Indian, they feel proud to wear the Indian jewelry. That we should work on. And I hope in this conference you have, there will be a lot of new ideas will come, which will help a lot of your suggestions. And if anything you need our help, we will be supporting and take it to government. As you know, our Prime Minister is very dynamic and a lot of things going on. Sachinji has spoken earlier, road, airports, and a lot of things are happening. It's not that also Vishkarma schemes. A lot of things this government is doing. And as you know, our Commerce Minister Piyush Goyalji has done the gold jewelry all hallmarked. And each piece is unique identification code, HID number, which is nowhere in the world what India has it. And it was really big help happened in FATF in audits also, that Sabyasachi is also presented there. So thank you, Sabyasachi ji, your really good work, and India came out from that because our sector is being looked in different way, but Honorable Minister Piyush Goyalji really worked very hard, and the government is really changed a lot in our sector. So we, as you said rightly, when books and all, it was in policies made to make us in books. We had a lot of series of meeting with Honorable Finance Minister, Sri Sitaramanji, where we explain what is need to be done for the custom duties because there was difficulties in FATF also and how to be more better and how the lot of business is going to neighboring countries. So thanks to Sitaramanji, Honorable Finance Minister, who accepted the recommendation from the National Gem and Jewellery Council of India and has given this benefit to the industry. And the least, I really want to congratulate Vinodji, Swankar Senji, and their entire team for putting up this nice event here. And I hope there are a lot of things will come out, and anything is required to do from National Council, since this is set up by Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and we are talking and busy with the government and the trade. So please do let us know. And thank you so much. Thank you.